And welcome to the Pirate Broadcast. And today is another interesting day. It's a special day because I have a guest that I just thoroughly enjoy what he's doing. We had a conversation. I don't know, it's probably been a couple of years now. Yeah. And I was so shocked and surprised, and I was just enthusiastic about what he was doing and some of the goals that he set and some of the focus he has in place for the mission he's on right now. And Yam is the CEO now of Zest.is. And so welcome, Yam. How are you today?
Great, Russ. Thank you so much. And you're right. We've been waiting for this one for way too long, isn't it?
Yes, it's been way too long. Well, I just, had to develop a show and get things going so we could promote you a little more.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So yeah, it's a effort that's worthwhile, right? So I'm down for that. If you can promote us, let's do that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm happy to finally do it with you. That's for sure.
Well, and I wanted to share your story because, you've been in the tech space for a while and, doing different things and different activities. And one of the things that I noticed and we've talked about is the focus on what you're doing. And one of the things that I've always been challenged by is, I'm distracted by so many things. Technology is always moving target, and it's like, okay, I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to, create content, do video, audio, all of these things. And I love learning. However, the thing that you brought to the table and the thing that I'm most admired by what you're doing is the focus and attention you placed in Zest.is and some bringing this community together, because it's really a community. So maybe you could explain for those that are unfamiliar with Zest, kind of what it is and who it serves and how it helps.
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to do so. And thanks for the opportunity again, Russ. So yeah, Zest matches marketers with the mission critical information for the task of tomorrow, if that makes sense, right? So eventually it's a platform that can match content with whatever marketers, like me and you, more seniors, more juniors, whatever, the type of content that they need in order to do their job much better. We see ourselves as a platform that fights infobesity. I'm not sure if it's a term that you're aware of, but something that we feel that we actually trying to help those professionals to fight information overload, which eventually cost us, a lot of time. Exactly. And we believe that there is enough educative micro content on the web, like articles and videos and podcasts and all that, but there is no solution that can distill the content for you, understand what's good for you and what's not, what's more relevant, and when you should consume it, what type of format is better for you to consume and when, and how many of pieces of content you need to consume, on a daily or weekly basis in order to do two things. First of all, to build your professional knowledge, and the other thing is to stay or keep yourself updated with what's going on in the industry. So we all, have a lot of resources, a lot of people we follow, a lot of, RSS feeds that we are subscribed to. But no one is telling us, this content, of course, it's relevant for you, but you should consume it in 2 weeks from now, not now, because you're still not there as far as related to your micro-learning path. So you can see Zest as an, Spotify for professional content, or your AI guide that will help you to build yourself by yourself in a much more proactive and accurate manner.
Well, and I love the fact that it's also a community. I know you have a lot of people in the community that are really active in creating content, sharing content, and that's really, I think, one of the things we're going to see more of in the next decade is like you're saying, the ability and the opportunity for people to focus in on what's important, because there's so much noise out there that it's really important for us to find platforms like yourself, and a solution like yourself is the opportunity to say, okay, here's what is really coming to the top. Here's the information that is really relevant today for me right now. And as you get connected with the people that you know, like, and trust for their content, and then that builds your authority in the market, because you're sharing quality content that people are resonating with as well. So I want to come back into your backstory though, and when we first had a conversation, this was like just getting started, and you're building a community around it, and talking one-to-one. It's like, what do you need? How do you need to receive information? So walk us through that process because I thought it was fascinating. I always admired the process that you went through. And it's like talking to regular people like myself and saying, hey, what's going to be important to you in going forward?
I think that's exactly, this is the core, probably DNA of Zest itself. And I'll try to tackle my own answer from two directions. But one of them is that we are going back to basics. And as far as we're concerned, solutions like us that build on a network effect, the more users there are, the better the product gets for everyone, not just for the owners of the product. We see ourselves as facilitators of the platform or the solution, but the product belongs to the tribe of users. Today we have 150,000 users and 50,000 monthly active users. And eventually, it's theirs. They can do whatever they want with it. We are, we have also user advisory boards and contributor advisory boards. So we understood from early days that it's the brain power and not only just the money power or, a funds power that we should have in order to nail it. And I'll give you a simple example, and also why I said that we are going back to basics, because as far as related to professional solutions, and in our case, professional, content matching and all that, it's all about how we prioritizing content, or what content we should consume as individuals. And I'll give me and you as an example. If you will share content with me on whatever, let's say LinkedIn Messenger over there, and I appreciate you as a professional because I follow you on social media. I see your activity, and on the other hand, we also spoke once or twice. We also have, we are tagging or mentioning each other here and there. So I also build some sort of personal appreciation with you, not just professional appreciation. Those two accesses of professional and personal kind of appreciation, the higher they get, right?
Yeah.
So the higher I will prioritize the content that you share with me or wherever on social media, the higher I will prioritize it. Because again, I appreciate you both professionally and personally. So if you will share content, I would say, all right, Russ knows what he's doing. He shared it with me, so he knows what I should consume, what will help me to be, to reach my milestones better, in a more better way, and also what will make me a better professional. So I'll say, all right, I'm going to consume this content, whether it's a video, audio, like podcast, or textual content on the spot. And that's what Zest does in a huge scale.
Yeah.
So users, we are not aggregating the web. We don't use RSS feeds. We don't do that. The first filter touch points for content that get or distilled into the distillation process of Zest, with the screening algorithms and all, are people or professionals like you and me, who either created the content or just found it, on the web or something like that. And then they suggest it on Zest. Now, in most cases,
yeah, I love that model, and it happens, and that's what I kind of consider as being relationship marketing. If I can add value to somebody else's day by sharing some content that is relevant to their industry or their interest, then that increases over time, and the more you do it, and the more you provide value in the network, then it just, everybody wins. That's the way I see it, and I suspect that you also, the fact that you have
I think that, yeah, exactly. I think that it's so important what you just said, Russ, because I think that many marketers and a lot of probably product managers, in the tech world, they go for the approach, or that's what we understand. They go for the approach of user-centered approach, right? We took this approach and we said that it's not the way that we want to build Zest with. It's not the kind of the methodology that we want to use. And we created something new that we call it user-first approach. Now, it's not just a or try to create a term or something like that. If you have a user-centered approach, as far as we're concerned, so you are surrounding your users with a lot of automation, a lot of kind of things that to make sure that they will convert better, they will engage better, that the cohorts will look, deeper and better. But that's not the kind of approach. If you use a user-first approach, it means that first of all, your users come and they should test and try your new features. So what we create, and that's our product development methodology, is that first of all, we are coming up with feature either that was suggested by the community or that just we said that we want to add it to Zest. Then we are contacting a few Zesters, like users, that can give us some sort of feedback for the feature. They are trying it out, they are butchering us with feedback. We are iterating a lot to make sure that we are getting, we call it feature users fit, right? That's it, feature few users, that's it. The next thing, when we call it a fit, when we hit the KPI of what we call a success for this given feature, then we are bringing in a few other hundreds of users to try it out. We call it feature tribe fit. And again, they are, butchering us with machetas and everything. We really love to hear all the bad and good feedback. And then we are iterating a lot with them. And the marketing aspect or added value of this methodology is that the users, and as you said it, they're not just, it's not what, that's the relationship marketing at its best, because they feel that they own the feature. They feel that they're part of the whole thing. Someone is listening to them. There are real humans who hear their thoughts, iterating, changing microcopy, changing features, changing UI according to their thoughts. And we call it that we know that we understand that people want to feel the warmth of our hands on their shoulders, again, not in a creepy manner, but someone as professionals want to feel that there are real humans over there that build product that we all can use and can help us to be better versions of ourselves. And eventually this product development methodology, it makes you feel onboarded with everything that the company does. And that's part of our tone of voice. It's part of how we communicate things that we do. So we are communicating, fuck ups that we do, which is totally fine because we are humans as well. And we are communicating successes. And most of our communication is just to empower our own users. So if you will see content marketing that we do or PR or stuff like that, you will definitely see Zesters who are mentioned over there and help us to do what we do. And eventually, it's our products, it's our users' products, ours, right? So that's why it makes so much sense. And eventually, it's all about being a human. And I call it in my keynote, I have a slide that I call it being a nice human, because being human in many cases, it's not enough. Right?
Well, and I think you nailed it, because the community takes on ownership when they're involved in the discussion, right? They feel like there's an ownership because they were part of the conversation, and that's what we, when we first connected, it's like, oh, you're asking my opinion about something on your company. It's like, that's pretty cool. I thought that was very innovative and it was really refreshing to have somebody call up and say, hey, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. And I've been a beta tester for a lot of, different softwares and, technology over the years. And it's really nice to be part of the equation, because then you have ownership. There's like this little piece of, hey, I helped craft this thought process,
Definitely.
And so that relationship builds and grows on everything that you do. And then you have advocates, you have people that are out there shouting, hey, I love this product. I love what you're doing. And eventually you get on the pirate broadcast. So
yeah, you see. That's good. We call it this kind of collaboration. It's not really a collaboration because it's so authentic and real, and we didn't push it to happen, right? But some sort of mutual back scratching.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So Yep.
You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about that we were talking about before the show, and I want to give a shout out to some of the individuals that are joining us here this morning. Vicki O'Neill, she's a great content marketer, and I want Vicki, I want you to learn more about Zest.is and some of the things that are content centric over there. Chrissy is here. Good morning. Gabriel, he's just starting to get involved in video and some of the activity around that. Brenda Miller, she's an awesome LinkedIn trainer. She's just an amazing individual that you should probably meet. Cher Jones, yes, thank you so much, Cher, for being here. Sherry Lawley, and Kenyatta Turner, Wendy. These are all individuals. Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I just really, Yam is a rock star individual, and he's just 100% human, and you need to know what he's doing. And I appreciate the fact that you're here, Yam. And I know that you're busy, and so thank you for taking time out of your day. All the gratitude in the world. So I want to talk a little bit about focus, because I know you're a very focused individual, and I want to talk about practicing focus and attention. You know, busy being busy isn't necessarily productive, right? And so as you're growing a company and you're building a community and everything else, what are some things that you can share with us that might inspire us to be more focused on our goals, and how you map that out in your mind?
Right. I think that it's some sort of combination of strategic planning, even if it's for our, day-to-day kind of life, combined with, as far as related to companies, culture, and of course, the people that you work with. And I think that for us, what really helped us is to, because we're two co-founders, and the team is also so involved with what we do, what we do and how we do things. I think that it's really important to define your KPIs. Now, I think that everything that I'm saying, I will add 2 grains of salt for that. But one of them is that it's good only for, it's our methodology, or it works for us. So I'm not sure it will work for everybody else. And I think that it's really important to define what is the core KPI, of the company. For Zest, in the past quarter and a half, something like that, we're really focused on generating revenues, and out of revenues to increase our MRR model, right? So more recurring revenues. Now, when you define those kind of things, or in this specific manner, dollars or revenues as your core KPI, you can see the whole company shift toward this kind of effort. And then you ask yourself each time. They'll give you another metaphor in a second, but you ask yourself each time whether or not what I'm currently doing, is it supporting the company KPI or not? And that's so crucial. And I'll give you an example from the entrepreneurship world, and we know that it's right for Zest as well, and for any kind of other of startup, is that eventually it's a game of time, right? Yeah. And use the metaphor for that is that we have, 100 shots, we can say, to try and nail the nail, with our hammer or virtual hammer, and to nail it, to the wood. And eventually, after 100 shots, the game will be over. I don't know. It can be, you can take it as an analogy for time, for money or funds. You can take it as an analogy for, if something will happen in the industry, if you'll have, things can just switch over time.
Have a window of opportunity.
Exactly.
You need to focus in on.
And then you ask yourself, all right, if I only have 100 times to do like that, with my virtual hammer, am I going to waste a few of these kind of shots or not? And once you see it as a game that can be over if you will not be too focused. So that's why this is how we are eventually building our own schedule. And this is our kickoff meetings, or weekly kickoff meetings look like. We are starting with sales. We are trying to understand what each of one of the team members and the team leaders did in order to achieve this or that KPI, it can be customer success, it can be support, it can be marketing. All of them can do things that will help generate more revenues, and in our case, MRR. So the other things are less important, and we know also as entrepreneurs that we are so focused on 10% of things. We believe that being focused on those 10% of things will help us we call it to make the sun rise, right? Because we are proactive kind of people, and the entrepreneurs, we will not wait for the sun to rise. We will go there and make it rise. This is our thought process as well. So we know that we need to start with this, and we know that we might be losing 90% of the opportunities of marketing opportunities, biz dev, strategic partnerships, and all that, because we so focus and so believe on this given 10% that they will bring us, again, the sunrise, the way that we call it. I can give you one more example for that.
Please.
Is that now that I'm focused on sales and less about marketing, although I'm managing the marketing affairs of the company, I'm saying so many times, I'm saying no, thank you, for people who say that, can I quote you? Can you send me something to add to this or that article? And I'm just thinking, oh gosh, I need to build my personal brand. I need to build Zest brand. It might help us to generate few more leads and traction. It might help us to build, backlinks and all that. But I'm just asking myself, is it right to do that and to stop for, 25 minutes to write a quote? Will it help me to generate more revenues and MRR today or this month? Apparently not. So I know that I'm losing a lot of opportunities on one end. On the other end, I'm nailing it with my virtual hammer each time. And apparently this kind of methodology works because we are hitting our MRR KPIs on a monthly basis, almost for 4 months already. And you know how important it is for a young startup to do that, because we are now on the way to start our seed fundraising round. So that's so important to show, some sort of revenue growth trend. And that's crucial, even if the amount of mentions and the amount of registered users or leads will decrease in this time, and we know what this trade-off can bring us.
Well, and that's why I appreciate the fact that you're here and sharing your story, because I think it's important for a lot of people that, especially in my community, in the pirate broadcast community, and I call them pirates, we're all pirates, because we're kind of doing things out of the box. We're moving the needle in some area of our life. We're, making changes, and we don't need permission anymore. You went out and started this company. Nobody, didn't wake up and say, hey, Yam, start this company. You decided with your co-founder, and you said, hey, this is a great idea, and I think we should go move forward. There's a decision process that you made. Yeah. You decided, you created this from nothing, and right now we're in a point in time where people are going out, creating things, innovating, bringing communities together. And it's really about what we can do as adding value to the community, adding value to the world, making sure the sun comes up, making sure that we're moving the needle, and the KPIs that we're looking to improve, we're focusing in on. And I think that's an important message to share, because not everybody understands or believes at times, where it's like, and I'm sure you've felt this at sometimes, like, why am I doing this? It's like, as an entrepreneur, we always feel alone because, it feels hard and it feels personal, and it's not always the case. We all share this same kind of journey. It's like one day you're like, oh, this is great, we're winning. And the next day it's like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Russ, it's on an hourly basis. It's you said day. You say, oh, I wish it would happen each day. It's happening each other hour.
Yeah, every hour it's a roller coaster, right?
Definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, and so I just really appreciate the fact that we can have these conversations, because a lot of people, even very successful businesses go through the same thing, and it's just amazing to me that it's not being talked about more often, more frequently. So, and where you're talking about how I spend my time, yes, you could be writing some, recommendations or a piece of content, or, doing other things. However, there are times where we really need to focus our attention, understand what the primary goal is, and make sure that we're focused on executing on that.
I have 2 cents to add to that, Russ, if I may.
Yeah, please.
I truly believe that sharing your thoughts, feelings, the way that we call it at Zest, we call it the VAT methodology. It means to be vulnerable, authentic, and transparent. Whether it's your brand or whether it's you that speaks as your personal brand and effort and stuff like that. Share your stories. I totally agree with you that we need to speak with each other. That's for sure. That's given. But I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of marketers, they don't share their own story, and we all have those personal stories that can help us, even if we are just egocentric, right? If I know that I'm writing for LinkedIn or Facebook, for instance, when I'm posting, I feel like I'm speaking with with a shrink, right? I'm writing my thoughts and feelings. Sometimes I'm tearing, sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I feel that I'm offloading something, whether it's a good feeling or bad feeling or whatever. It's some sort of something that I'm carrying with me. And then by writing and by sharing my thoughts, I can see that I'm not just being able to offload stuff for me, because again, we are just with 10 fingers on the keyboard most of the time of the week, and it's so helpful to do that and to offload your thoughts, feelings, and thought processes to the keyboard and to share it with the world. You will not be sound as as fool or something like that. People will appreciate the fact that you share your thoughts and feelings. It's something they are not doing it. So one tip that I can give to everyone who watch us is that just share your thoughts and feelings on social media. It will be good for you, and it will be great for people that follow you.
I love that. So that acronym is VAT: vulnerability, authenticity, and transparency, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Yam, I just wanted to bring up, I just want to share this really quick, if I may, add to the stream here. So, the thing that is fascinating about Zest.is is let me move this out of the way here, is the fact that it's really a place that people can actually go and join, and so and it's a Chrome plugin as well. So when people have an opportunity, go over there and connect. For content creators, for marketers, people that are actually moving and shaking in the whole community of marketing. This is an amazing platform and community. So, and then I know you have, I know I've been connected with the Slack channel, and being in there and a few things like that. Are there anything else that you got coming up in the near future that we can take a look at and understand?
Oh, definitely. I can show you a few great things that we kicked off a few weeks ago. One of them is called Zest for Teams, and Zest for Teams is Zest but for teams, as you know, of course. But it means that we are being able to close the skill gap and the knowledge gap within each team. I guess that it feels rational that teams are running by the pace of the slowest member. And the slowest member are people who are more junior or people who are senior, but they just join a team. But in each team, you have each marketing or growth or product or sales team, you have some sort of knowledge and skill gap. And with Zestful, we are being able to match content to teams in a much more contextual manner. So it really relates on what they work on. And the team leader can also define team-wide skills that they want their team to be improved in. So it's like a professional development tool for teams that not just to be aligned, but also once you are there, so as a team member, you're getting to develop your own talent, but it's all towards a given team-wide goal or milestone that you have. And we are also integrating it with Google Calendar, so we can scan, that's a later stage, of course, but we can scan the Google Calendar, and then the contextual content matching will be much better. And we have connections and integrations with Slack and all that Atlassian products. So over there, we can scan the team's roadmap, for the future.
Yeah.
And then we can proactively match content to each individual without them going to Google or stuff like that. It will be based on their own preferences, the way that they consume content. I can tell you that we use Zest for Teams, of course, in Zest. And that's really good, cool example, because the algorithm detects that I'm a slow reader, benchmark speaking. Of course, I'm not a native English speaker, and some of our team members are. So I think that I'm the slowest, reader in our team, and we see that we see that the platform surface more audio and video content for me, because again, as a modern professional, I cannot stop learning, right? But the fact that I'm a reader doesn't mean that I should consume or that I should develop my talent slower. So that's a cool thing that's happening right now. If someone wants to join the pilot, of course, just email me or connect with me on LinkedIn. My email is yam@zest.is. I can give you my phone number as well. I'm
you're available.
The other thing the other thing is that we are developing right now. We already have a few dozens of members over there. We call it premium zesters, and that's so relate to what you said at the beginning of the conversation, that it's all about humans and the people. We feel that Zest should be decentralized, not blockchain wise, of course, but again, it belongs to its users. Those premium members, they pay some sort of subscription monthly fee. They get all the content approved on Zest. They are part of the contributor advisory board, and their goal is to help the Zest team to steer the platform to success as far as related to content distribution and content promotion and content sharing. And all of them, and that's a scoop, all of these good people, that most of them are influencers and super professionals from the marketing industry, they get equity from Zest just by being part of the of the whole of this
ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I love getting engaged, and I have to tell you, Yam, you've motivated me to up my game in my email, because I loved your you send out your newsletter. The one I received from you is and you have a couple of pieces of content that are relevant, that you put out there. And so anybody that signs up to get notified for the next episode of Pirate Broadcast is I send out a notification, but what I want to include in that notification is a couple of pieces of good content. So I'm going to start including that in future notifications and pieces of information that, I can actually contribute to the community, because I think it's valuable and it's useful. So I want to continue to use that. And I want to say that you've inspired me to do that. So also the whole community idea of the Pirate Broadcast and also the Pirate Syndicate, the larger piece of the puzzle that I'm building out is due in fact to models like what you're putting out in the world, because I really believe in community. I really believe in helping others and putting tools out there that others can use and leverage to increase and improve their life. So it's really, I just wanted to share that with you so you could take it along your day and let you know that I appreciate you. You're appreciated. And
cool.
I really thank you for the opportunity to connect here today. So.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Russ. That was amazing to hear, and I must share it with the Zest team. So, by the way, get us subscribed to to the newsletter, and if not, just send me the link so we'll get subscribed, because it's going to be probably a beautiful newsletter, and of course, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, and I know you're busy. Any last words you want to leave with the world today, and last thoughts that we can share with the community today?
I think that eventually, I know I just see myself, I cannot give tips for better life or something like that. I can just tell you what works for me or for us. I think that we talked about a few, actionable things already, but I think that something that works really good for me personally and professionally is that, and that's part of my weekly KPIs, as a professional, not as a business owner or something like that, is to meet I don't know what to call it, but likewise, kind of a like-minded kind of professionals. So I'm trying to meet, founders who already did it, already been there, so I can just extract, their thought processes, their experiences, and all that. So each week I'm trying to meet two individuals that already been there, as far as it concerned to my own path, and I'm trying to learn from them. And I think that that's true for everything. It can be the us as professionals or as person or human beings. So just those two people each week, set up a meeting with them, go and learn, expand your knowledge, expand your experience, and especially don't feel, this is a great way to feel that you're not alone, because they've been there and they can tell you how it feels like and how you're going to feel like, later on as well, of course.
Exactly. They've beat the trail down a little bit more.
Yeah. So
well,
true.
I got some introductions that I'll share with you, Yam, on that note. And I just thanks again for being here. I know. Thank you, everyone, for Jordan, Arcot, Angie. Thank you so much, Gabriel, Sherry, Wendy, Michelle, Kenyatta, all of the people that joined the Pirate Broadcast, and all of the supporters out there. I'm humbled by your activity and your support and everything that we're doing here. And I just want to let you know that Yam is an awesome resource. And if you're not connected, go ahead and connect. He's in fact, I was so excited about your stuff. I didn't put that out there, but you can find Zest over here at Zest.is. So check out Zest.is and find out what's happening over there. Yam, always a pleasure to talk to you. I'm always inspired when I have a conversation with you. So thank you so much, and look forward to exchanging some information after fact and getting you involved in the Pirate Broadcast now that you're officially a pirate.
Oh yes, thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for having me, Russ. It's always fun and great to meet with you. And have a great day, everyone over there.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.